Hello everyone, how's it going today? We are back for some more Minas Tirith, and we are getting started on the third box. So let's go ahead and get that open, and start pulling out the bags. Alright, so we're starting with the 40, so there's a 52, and there's a 43. $55, $56, and yes, tomorrow is Zerfall's charity stream. I will be raiding into that and then joining him after the Spelljammer game. It's 49, 46. 44. So do join us for that. It'll be lots and lots of fun. There is a link on the Discord. There's I'm a collab on his announcement video, so if you go to my channel and scroll back far enough, you'll find it. There's 42. 53. So it's going to be super duper fun. So do join us if you can. Let's see, 45. Okay. There we go. Looking for 47 as well. There's 54. That is going down to 56. There we go. All right. There's a 60. Howdy, Farron. How's it going? $59. This is going to 56. Yeah. All right. 50. All right, there's 40. I'm going to set this aside because that's what we're going to be starting with. 47. So now we got all of that. And that is going to 49. Yeah, all right. And we got a raid. Kenara, thank you very much for the raid. Let's go ahead. Let me go ahead and get you a shout out there. And Gildatung also bringing us a raid. Well, thank you. We get you double shout-outs there. I have to wait 1 minute 52 seconds before giving another shout-out. That's pretty rude, Twitch. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can... No, let me just get that typed in again. So I don't have to type that in. So, what were you two up to tonight? Working on the second LEGO build, the USS Enterprise? Oh, wow. That's your second build? Nice. It's a very good set. I built that myself not too long ago. What was your first? There's 41. And 57. All right. So we're going through 60. So I want to get through at least 49 tonight. First build was the Tuxedo Cat. Nice. That is a pretty adorable one. All right. Stack all these up into the box next to me. $52, $51, $50. $49, $48, $47, $46, $45, $44, 43, 42, and 41, and 40. All right. This is a very big build, yeah. I mean, we're on our 5th session. We'll have one more session. Because of the streams tomorrow, I'm gonna make sure that I don't go late. So if I don't get to 49, we'll just go a little bit late on next Wednesday. That is preferable. And the reason I want that is because I want to build something in particular on Friday. I don't want to. I want to. There is a reason for it, but I will hold that until next Friday. All right. So you can see the very tip of part of the build there. It's got a lot of pieces. Yeah, it's got a lot of pieces. It's gonna be very big. And no, I'm not gonna keep it together when I'm done. All right, can I do the shout-out? Yes, I can. There we go. All right. Twitch has graciously allowed me to give a shout-out. What were you up to, Gilded Tongue? Was that Tex Murphy, or am I mixing games up? What do I do with my builds when I'm done? For the most part, take them apart and sort the pieces. I have some stuff still together. Like, let's see. Right now, I still have the... I still have all of the modular sets that I've built on stream. Obviously, I have all of the modular sets. I have not... but not all of them are together. Right now, here I have the Enterprise. I have the Artemis rocket. I have that Town Seaport set, which I really liked. Eldorado Fortress. Just the ship part of the Black Seas Barracuda from a number of years ago. The Crocodile engine. The two Ninjago modulars. The D&D set. The Daily Bugle. That's still put together. And both Zelda sets are still together. Most of the other stuff that I've built, I've taken apart. I have a few other things still together around here, but that's what I can see right now. They'd better make a Klingon bird of prey the same scale as the Enterprise, or you'll riot with burning pitchforks. Wouldn't surprise me if some people come up with some nice designs for that, but yeah, that would be very nice. I would like that for dark green and sand green. Come on. Come on. There we go. Alright, so we're getting the green cape. It does peek out every now and then. I mean, that's perfectly fair, really. Alright. Minifig. So let's see. What is the text? I do not love the bright sword for its sharpness, nor the arrow for its swiftness, nor the warrior for his glory. I love only that which they defend. Faramir, TM. So this is going to be Faramir. The cooler of the two brothers. Let's give him the calm face because it is Faramir. TM. They can stop making Star Wars kits. Star Trek fans have waited long enough. It's time now. Yeah, if only Star Trek were as popular with the kids. He doesn't appreciate the Mega Flare for its power? Nope. Sorry, Bahamut. Okay, it's going to be hard to see his... I should have shown off the back of the torso before I put the cape on, but oh well. All right, let's go ahead and zoom on in. You can kind of see that. I'm actually really surprised that these are using the stiff capes. Really surprised. And this is the other face you have for Faramir. There we go. So you mean Starfleet Academy didn't bring in the kids? I mean, I assume not. I wouldn't know. Let's see. Yeah, we're making the other side. Okay. I mean, I don't have Paramount Plus, so I can't watch any of those anyways. But yeah, most... Oop, I need to zoom back out. Oops, sorry. There we go. I don't think most modern writers understand Star Trek. Thought Lower Decks brought in the kids? Probably is better at bringing in the kids. Alright, flip it over. What do we got? I don't think I've gotten red 4x4 corner plates before. The gravy and rice you made together is ridiculously good. Well, did you bring enough to share? Is how a real Lego builder does it with confidence not like you? Well, I mean, if you're on your second set, it comes with time, my friend. Don't worry, I still make mistakes. Pastries. Well, but other people might want some Not a Rogue AI. Also, wait a second. You're not a Rogue AI. How are you making, how are you cooking anything? You build, then you say, oh crap, and have to take half of it apart and start over? I mean, think about it this way. That is the way that you build up your skills. You know? I wasn't perfect when I started. 10 minutes after I started, sure, but... Quick, someone make a clip to that, all admitted he makes mistakes? I mean, you guys have seen enough. Seen enough, so you'll have to die. I mean, They didn't have Lego kits when you were a kid? That's fair enough. Luckily, they did for me, and, I have, been doing this pretty much non-stop for many decades now. Yep, that's it. Alright, flip it back over. Remember a skill-based RPG that gave you more credit to increasing a skill from failures and successes? Yeah, I mean, like, that kind of makes sense. It can be kind of hard to handle that well, though. That's part of the problem. You really want the Friends coffee shop, but it's been discontinued? Yeah. That does mean that that will be a little bit expensive. But I don't know how well it's sold, so they might actually be somewhat reasonably priced compared to other things from that era that are more popular. Yes, tomorrow is the Zerfall charity stream. I will be raiding in after Spelljammer. I believe his channel is Let's Play Zerfall here on Twitch. I wonder if I can give him a shout-out. Hold on a second. probably won't be able to if he's not in... Yeah, it's not auto-completing it. Channel you're shouting out does not exist. Alright, I got something wrong in that. Oh, it might be ZZ Zerfall. I wonder if I can... He wouldn't be... He's not online right now. Yeah, unfortunately it's, It is that. Okay, alright. That's right. Yeah, he is that. Is that on... It's... Let's play Zerfall on Blue Sky. Alright, hold on. There we go. Yep, that's it. Thank you. So the charity stream is raising money for the MS Society of Canada to try and find treatments and cures for multiple sclerosis. I did have an aunt who passed away from that, so it is something near and dear to my heart. So if anyone is free tomorrow, 2 to 2 Eastern Time, do join us. It will be lots and lots of fun. We'll raid into it. Nice. He will definitely appreciate that. Okay. Ah, I see what I did. See? I make mistakes. I got this too far forward. What was my favorite build thus far? Easy, no question, Lion Knight's Castle. Lion Knight's Castle is by far my favorite Lego set of all time. It is just a wonderful, wonderful set. All making mistakes, heresy. Hey, I'm only dragon, you know? Okay, I have done something else wrong. Like, this is the right size. Why do I have 3 here and it's showing... 1? Oh, okay, I see why. That is why. That is why I, got that wrong. Alright, there we go. Okay, now the 1x1. Yeah, when everything is gray, it kind of just blends together. Playing more Tex Murphy 1 now that the controls are no longer terrible? Awesome. Glad you got that sorted out. One of my other favorite builds was the Titanic, although that is a little bit more, the display is absolutely gorgeous, and I love the Titanic. Parts of the build were very repetitive, not as repetitive as the Eiffel Tower. Yep, I got some Dragon Quest music playing. Alright, so lots of tiling here. Speaking of Titanic, did I ever play Starship Titanic? I played a very, very, very little bit of it when I was young at a friend's house. I don't own it, and I have not played it since then. It's a possibility. Mysterious JG has played it, so there's less incentive for me to do it. Because I've seen I've seen his LP of it. That is going right here. But it's always a possibility. I mean, I am kind of running low on games that I actually know. I will have to branch out a lot more. I mean, I've played a number of games that I never played before, but I have played most of the games that I had never played before and also, like, really, really wanted to play. Alright. Not those. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Then that one. Then that one. Alright. Random recommendation, Gunstar Heroes. What are the top 3 games that I love playing? I mean, like, I mostly play RPGs, so once I've finished it, I don't play it again unless I want to replay the whole thing, kind of. I don't play a whole lot of, like, action games for the sake of action games. But my number 1 favorite game is Xenogears. Followed closely by Xenosaga 1 and 3. 2 is not that great, and only I only play it to get through to 3. But I'm not playing those again until they, hopefully do a remaster at some point. Have I ever played Crusader of Senti? No, but I am aware of it. That is on the potential future LP list. If it's a game that I'm thinking of. 1x2 with round ends right there, connecting those in. So that really locks that in. It won't wiggle as much now. I don't play a whole lot of open-ended games. I guess I haven't played Crusader Kings 2 in quite a while. I wasn't a big fan of Crusader Kings 3. But I have a ton of hours in Crusader Kings 2, so that is a game that I have loved quite a bit. Yeah, I got that right. And of course, Stardew Valley is an awesome game. I have casual 1,000 hours in that. I don't know that I'd be considered an expert anymore. I would be rather rusty at this point. But I do have like 3,000 hours in that game, so... Oh, I know there is an update coming out. I will definitely be playing it again. Oops, I got the wrong Got a 1x6, not a 1x8. Haunted Chocolatier will one day claim all. Yes. Yep. Yeah, I will definitely be playing Stardew again when the new update is out. You played the game for 30 minutes, rage quit, and uninstalled? I mean, it's not for everyone. That's fine. You know, as they say, different strokes for different folks. Really wanted to love it too? That's unfortunate. But I mean, I know people who didn't like Stardew Valley, so, you know. I mean, I didn't get it, like, first day or anything like that. I got it after seeing some other people play it and was like, okay, that actually looks fun to me. I think that I will actually enjoy that. Whereas, like, Kikoskia has said that he has no interest in playing it because he doesn't like the time pressure that the game puts you under, needing to get things done in a day. In a day. You know, it's fine. I mean, people can be wrong. It's okay. There's a fair number of Genesis RPGs you'd love to see my take on. Phantasy Stars 1 through 4, Warriors of the Eternal Sun. Yeah, both of those, well, all 5 of those, should I say, are on the list. I have been meaning to break out... I know that Phantasy Star 1 is very rough. Drop you in 7 Days to Die, but drop you in Stardew, and you're going to need a good therapist. Alright, so we've got our 1x4 bricks with grooves. Basically rail bricks. And that is going right there. 1x4 under it. No, I'll play one. That game will not frustrate me that much, I don't think. Phantasy Star 4 is great. Yeah, that is I think that is undeniably a great game. Okay, so getting that there, getting that there. And that there. All right. So it's only held by a stud right there, a stud right there, a center stud in between these two. And that's it. You don't think I have to do an H.C. Bailey and play through all 12 paths of Phantasy Star 3? Yeah, I've watched his LP of that, but I don't remember it, so I don't remember those specifics. Some games I will do all the paths on. I'm looking at you, Tactics Ogre, one of the best games of all time. I will do that for Tactics Ogre. Phantasy Star 3, probably not. It will basically depend on how much fun the game is for me and how interesting those other paths are. And yes, Tom Brown, I did get my car back. Yay, getting the car back after the mechanics basically said, you might as well wait for it to get worse. I think you left out the word best, not a rogue AI. Well, so they think they fixed what happened last Friday. So there's that. Let's turn this around here. As to the underlying issue that is happening at other times, it's basically one of those things of like, okay, I'm an, you know, like I have many years in IT tech support. So to me, this makes sense. I don't know how much sense it'll make to other people, but like when someone is like, my computer's running kind of slow, or this program randomly crashes and it doesn't give an error. Those really annoying to diagnose problems that is like, you know, your best bet is finding the one other person on the internet who posted about it and then said, oh, I found a solution, here it is. You know, that's basically your best guess, and that's the kind of problem that I think my car has. Could always do all the paths in Ultima 9, all of them leading to uninstalling the game 15 minutes in and burning the physical media. Be kind of hard considering the game doesn't exist. Nope, I need a gray 1x2. There we go. And a white center stud tile. So, like, it's like the issue that it's having is very infrequent. You can drive it for a little while and not have the problem. It's mostly when you're at a when it's at idle. That's when it's noticeable, I guess. So, Oh, what's a paladin? Tactics Ogre, we don't think enough people are talking about the Armenian genocide. Cling together? Yes. Tactics Ogre was, well, I don't know if it's the Armenian genocide. I think it might be, what was happening in the former Yugoslavia. Maybe? I don't know. I sometimes forget which one is which. Which one they're talking about. They were inspired by. I mean, there's so many real events to choose from. That it fits. Like, I mean, I do actually think that Tactics Ogre is better than Final Fantasy Tactics. I understand why a lot of people like Final Fantasy Tactics more. And I also understand people who like Final Fantasy Tactics better. But for my money, Tactics Ogre. It is a fantastic game. And having multiple paths that you can go down that actually makes a difference and stuff like that, it's great. Yeah, it was certainly more available in the States, and it's a more accessible game. The mechanics are more familiar to a lot more people. And the mechanics are, in a lot of ways, like, I mean, the mechanics of Final Fantasy Tactics are really good. And possibly better in some ways. The one place where Tactics Ogre really, really shines mechanically is in Final Fantasy Tactics. You don't get extra range for height, Whereas in Tactics Ogre, you can attack outside of your range. It will let you try that, and if you've got height with a bow, your weapon can go really far and do a lot of extra damage. And that's pretty awesome. Also, on one of the paths, my character got a fan, which basically just made him almost invulnerable because he deflected almost all attacks. It was pretty awesome. You do await all this playthrough of a Knight of Lordly Caliber? Maybe someday. Sadly, I have very little actual experience with N64. What experience I have with that was like playing the Mario Kart game once, playing a hockey game because we basically just played it to have a fighter. And then, of course, a whole friggin' lot of GoldenEye. So that is my experience with the N64. I didn't miss it. I chose to get a PlayStation instead. Like, I couldn't get both. Yeah, like, and that was the thing. Like, if you wanted RPGs, which I did, you went for the PlayStation. There was no contest there. All missing the best N64 game, Quest 64. I don't know, GoldenEye is pretty great. I did pretty well in that, all things considered, and what I'm particularly considering is that I'm not very good at shooters, by camping and sniping. PS1 has Pepsi Man, so it's a clear winner here. Alright, now we do some columns here. Ald should stream Pepsi Man. Why do I get the feeling like you guys are trying to torture me? I don't want to be tortured. Have you considered that? Because it's your job. I should do you annoyed first. But you're supposed to avoid the Noid. We would never, how dare I? That's fair, that's fair. I am maligning you unfairly. By the way, would I like a nice pickle? Because you can't torture me with Spelljammer anymore? I mean, you can, but I've already played it. Speaking of, I think there's a Humble Bundle with all of the Gold Box games and the Spelljammer game and the Dark Sun games and maybe some others. Let's see, that goes right here. There we go. Get some nice columns and arched windows. Very nice. You miss sillier ads like the Noid ads sometimes? All the pizza ads you say these days are just like, hey, here's a pizza deal, no fun? Well, I don't see many ads these days, so I don't actually know what they're doing with advertising. But I agree, funny ads are the best. Everything you currently have on GOG except for Pirates of Realm Space, well, there you go. I mean, the big thing is that this is a, you know, it is appropriate to buy all these games multiple times. I certainly have. I'm pretty sure I have like 5 copies of Pool of Radiance. Or maybe it's Pools of Darkness that I have that many of. I don't know, it's one of them. I do not blame you for getting a Jimothy emote. Jimothy is pretty great. Alright, let's get these set up. Alright, I think they're even. Alright, another pair of columns. Well, I mean, second cutest, really, Bahamut. There is Princess Linda. Princess Linda is actually named for a real raccoon. You're glad that the Steam version of Fantasy Empires made the combat section actually playable? Oh, do tell. I have never actually played it. I have known about it, but never got around to getting it. Although I do think that I have it on Steam right now. I have not played it. There we go. Looks like old gold box, Demon Stone, Dragon Shard, the coupon, and coupons for Temple of Elemental Evil and Pool of Radiance, Ruins of Myth Draenor. Well, I mean, the gold box games are the important ones. Those are the best D&D games that have been published. All right, 2 more columns. And I have heard nothing but bad things about Pool of Radiance, Myth Draenor, Ruins of Myth Draenor. I mean, I'm not saying other games aren't good, not a rogue AI. There we go, get that in there. Alright, that gets right there. Alright, I want 3 of these. Double stack of 1x2 plates. Another double stack of 1x2 plates. There we go. And a black bracket. You'd either make the base building world map move at a reasonable pace and not super slow and having the combat go at Mach 150, or the combat going at a proper speed and the base building section go at a snail's pace. Huh. I wonder if that was a real issue from back in the day, or if that was a conversion to modern systems issue. I don't recall hearing anything, but I wouldn't necessarily have heard anything. Ald should play Hillsfar? I have. I only did one episode because it didn't matter. Howdy, Aogra. How's it going? But I did make the mistake of converting all my characters from Pool of Radiance through to Curse of the Azure Bonds, and don't do that. Do not do that. It's a bad idea. It messes up some things. Especially for mages. It messes up their known spells. Like, it's probably fine for a fighter, but... Yeah, I mean, Hillsfar doesn't have an end. It's just an open-ended game of minigames, so it's... Some of them are pretty fun, but... Ald, have you considered the Worlds of Ultimate games? I'm assuming you're making a joke here? Considering my past profession of love for Savage Empire, and my past professions of anger towards Lord British for Savage Empire, what he did to the Avatar, Elmandretta the Avatar, in Savage Empire. Alright, spare parts. White 1x1 tile, white 1x1 plate, tan 1x1 tile slope, black 1x1 cylinder tile, and gray 1x1 cylinder tile with top peg. You don't remember everything I've ever said or played? I mean, you should. Duh. I will accept no excuses. But weren't we talking on Wednesday? I mean, about the fact that I was sad that we never got the Ultima 7 Worlds of Ultima? Keep meaning to play Ultima 4 for NES. Another on your to-do list. That is probably a good version to play. The only downside is you can't convert your character into Ultima 5. Both Savage Empires and Martian Dreams are on Ald's list of playlists. Indeed. Both of them are very good. That span of Ultima 6, Savage Empire, Martian Dreams, Ultima 7, Serpent Isle is a fantastic string of games. All hits, no misses. Might not have been in the room. Ah, jeez. Excuses, excuses. Not being here the entire time that I am streaming. Huh. Bathroom breaks. Sheesh. Come on. NES Ultima 4 also doesn't worry about mantras, which, you mean, makes it easier, but also sad losing quests. Well, what about the... What is it, the Genesis version? Maybe the Genesis version is a little bit better in that regard. Alright, so we have beige. I believe we have warm tan, sand blue, and dark red tiles for books. And then we have a tan 1x2 tile for another book. Which one has grass attacking you? That is Exodus, yes. Ultima 3 Exodus. Basically, it's the ground, like traps in the floor, I think is the idea. Yep, that is indeed the final boss, and you defeat it by inserting punch cards. aka old-style programming. Yep, got a bookcase here. That goes right in there. Mundane and Minax were more intimidating. Yes, but it's it's an interesting way of handling an end game and an end game challenge. Considering Exodus is stated to be their child. Well, obviously they were doing some programming between the sheets, Lord Canis. Wow, chicka wow wow. Hey, honey, you want to come in here and play with my keyboard? No, I really mean, I have a keyboard in here for a computer. Do some programming. Alright, we got a 1x2 tile with, like, writing, a potion design. This might have shown up in other sets. I can't recall offhand. Probably inside a book. But I don't know that they would make this brand new for this set. Especially since it doesn't, like, have any obvious Lord of the Rings stuff. Hookah instructions. Could be. All right, there we go. We get a table in the corner there. I mean, I think that Ultima 3 is the most inventive of the first three. And the first one to really try some fun experiments in storytelling. More so than the other two. It is a big shame that the worlds aren't really, like, visibly consistent between those first three. Alright, so we've got a dark red book and lid. And we use a tan 1x2 tile for the interior. Two you get, but the time portals are pretty annoying. Yeah, they are. They definitely are. Okay, there we go. I'll play it one day. I need to figure out my FM Towns setup again, though. I think it's been 2 computers since I did that. So I don't think it's set up to run properly these days. Because your brain was focused on possibilities of how the WoW and D&D book is working, your brain immediately went to, how can I make these work for a Master of Magic style setting? So I don't understand why this table has guns under it. In the archives of Minas Tirith TM, Gandalf TM found Isildur's scroll, which proved essential in identifying the One Ring TM. Sends in the Lego Clown minifigs to haunt Ald's Lego room. That wouldn't haunt me. No, they couldn't be. They couldn't possibly be scrolls, Ariaru. They've got to be guns. All right, we have a single beige door, a right-hand door, and not a left-hand door. This is very annoying. There's a little hole in the end of the scroll. What if they were holding red balloon bricks? But were they 99 red balloons? Okay, that goes right there. Why would you want to kill gnomes? Gnomes are wonderful. Especially Tinker Gnomes. Alright, get the table at the desk, or the chair at the desk. Gnomes make the best sandwiches. I mean, if you say so. I don't know that they make better sandwiches than anyone else. I mean, I guess if your favorite food is spaham, then I could see that. That would make sense. All right, we've got candlesticks actually being candlesticks. Isn't watching Laftel do anything pretty funny, though? Like, pretty fun? Beware, old Lord Canis might gift me ham made from gnomes, but that wouldn't be ham then. That would be gnome meat. It wouldn't even be spaham. There we go. We've got a candlestick all ready to be bumped over and burn all of these books and scrolls. Hey, it could be like Silk 2, where everyone keeps saying scrolls all the time. The scrolls, the scrolls, the scrolls, the scrolls. No FF6 snossages? Snossages. Okay, that goes on right there, and there we go. Want to give Laftel a known cursed book to read? That was great. They just got it away from Braxton, and he decided to read it. I corrupted your brain. You always think that now when looking at sausages. My work here is done. Sausages. I mean, it's from a movie in which Lassie actually kills a man. Lassie gets a taste of blood and will never be satisfied again. Come to think of it, you never actually watched the Savage Empire LP? Guess you should fix it this weekend? You should. Just, you know, not tomorrow. Sausages. That is from one of my favorite MST3K episodes. Yeah, you could start it tomorrow morning. That's true. All right, so we got 6 white lightsaber hilts there. And then 2 1x3 tiles with 2 center studs. And there we go. And that goes right there. All right, 1x4 here. 2x2 corner, and 1x3 tile right there. All right, spare parts. 1x1 cylinder plates with hollow studs in black and warm tan. 1x1 cylinder tiles with top pegs in gray, gold, and clear. 1x1 cylinder plate with hollow stud in white, gold lightsaber hilt, warm tan 1x1 cylinder plate with bar, and 2 white small feathers. All right, bag number 43. I haven't donated yet, A, because one thing that I donate is my time, and B, I like to make it rain on Zerfall. Howdy, Stealthy. How's it going? All right, so this goes right there, yes. One by one cylinder plates with hollow studs. Oh, I know that's what you do. I rarely go for them because I'll let other people, win. Any rain I give him, I have to share. Oh, I make it rain money on him. Luckily, we are not due rain tomorrow. It would suck if that happened again. All right, 1x3 round ends, making sure that the mold mark is on the inside. There we go. You should go through my Legend of Ghost Lion LP and count the Toto references. That was a pretty fun game, all things considered. It was a pretty fun time. I did enjoy myself with that. It was very weird, yeah. Why would you want me to get more rain? Don't you guys want me on the stream? Like, I missed half of it last time because I was drying the basement. Why would you want that again? And then, of course, all the extra hassle that comes with it. You're welcome for the suggestion. Hey, thank you. Yeah, but we all know that the real proto-Pokemon Gildatung was Dragon Quest V. I mean, there's good suffering, like me playing Pirates of Realm Space, and then there's bad suffering, ruining my carpet and the furniture that was sitting on the carpet, and making insurance rates go up. Some of the furniture, yeah, it got moldy. It got very water damaged, and it got moldy. I mean, the good news is that they were, like, what I tossed was very old shelves, but I did have some other shelves that got water damage too. They just weren't so bad that I had to toss them. Plus, they were also brand new. It would have really sucked if I had to toss them. Like, I cannot emphasize enough that that wasn't suffering, that was misery. At least I didn't suffer like G did. I'm not sure who you mean by G. Oh, I do have a soda, Bahamut. Zero sugar Canada Dry ginger ale. Oh, House of the Dead 2? Okay, I don't know what that is. I mean, like, I vaguely know what it is, but I've never played it. I don't think I've ever seen it. So, sorry. Reference over my head. You had to toss all of your dad's old sci-fi paperbacks due to floods from a broken pipe and a water heater? That's really crappy. I had one... Well... I had more than one basically irreplaceable book get slight water damage. Not enough to like get rid of it, but that was very annoying. I mean, there was also a Lego set that I was kind of forced to build quickly on stream because the box got completely ruined as well, so there was that. I mean, the parts were in plastic bags. They were all okay. And I think the modern bags with that are paper, I think that they'd be okay too because they're waxed on the inside. But yeah, I mean, that flooding was absolutely insane. 4 inches where I am. Over 4 inches, actually. I think mold can get on it and stuff like that, but I think, you know, just washing it will take care of it. But you still don't really want to have to do that. Washing Lego is a pain in the butt. It's one of the reasons why I don't tend to go for... Like, I know people who, like, scour, like, eBay and Craigslist and neighborhood mailing lists and stuff like that for people giving away or selling by the pound used Lego. Lego cannot survive anything. I have some broken pieces from a time my father's ceiling collapsed. I have a lot of broken traffic signs from me being a kaiju in my Lego city by accident. And yeah, there was a thing with brown and dark red for a while where it was very brittle. Brittle brown and brittle dark red. Luckily, I didn't lose any pieces to that. I probably have some of those pieces, but I haven't lost anything. And I did hear... no, not 1990. That's new brown, not old brown. So that would be brown from the... after the changeover to new brown. I did hear about someone who accidentally spilled, like, essential oils on like, a set that was on display, and the pieces just, like, became incredibly brittle, so... If it doesn't come with a burning signal fire, is it really Minas Tirith? I mean, it might. I don't know. I haven't finished yet. Howdy, Pat Draws. How's it going? Gondor is calling for aid, indeed. They need Minas Tirith built. All right, spare parts: white 1x1 plate, black 1x1 cylinder plate with open stud, and black 1x1 quarter cylinder tile. Well, if they're calling for Kool-Aid, then he's just going to bust through the wall, and then they're going to have to rebuild again. So, hopefully, they know what they need. Oops. But yes, never wish house floods on anyone. From someone who knows, never wish house floods on anyone. Red Hyena subscribed at tier 1, 35 months. Thank you very much. Kaiju in your Lego city by accident. You need to know more? Okay, so I had a wooden floor in my bedroom as a child. So I would lay out the roads, buildings, and stuff like that, you know, build a Lego city on the floor of my bedroom, but that meant that the only way to get to my bed after I turn off the light was to try and step in the streets to get to bed. And then occasionally I'd hear a snap because I accidentally stepped on a sign, and those are very fragile. It was sad times. I was a dumb kid. You have a Lego Christmas AT-AT you need to build before Christmas? Well, you better get on that. You only have, what, 5 months to go? I mean, I don't know how you could possibly finish it in time. A thoughtful, apologetic Godzilla you were then. Exactly. I mean, really what I should have done, and I don't know why it never occurred to me, was take up the signs before bed and put them in the container. I could always rebuild a building that I accidentally kicked. That was no problem. You imagine actually opening the box would be a good start? I mean, it might be. You could try to build it in the box. That's a challenge. I don't think anyone's ever done that before with the Christmas AT-AT. Do I have it? Yes, I do. It's a little dusty. Hold on. Built in the bag. Said 10166. And this has old trans orange. It says the trans neon orange rather than trans orange. You zoom in on these, see if you can see the difference here. I've shown it off before, but like you can see how this is very neon, and this is not. I don't know why they stopped making the neon orange, but that's, you know, sad. All right, so build in the bag challenge. I still have it in the bag because I haven't needed the parts for anything. Just shake the box enough, and statistically, eventually, you'll get an AT-AT. Well, unless you open up all of the bags inside, I don't think that's actually true. Did I win anything in that challenge? I don't think so. I don't think it was actually for prizes. I think it was something we did in the Lego Club just to see if we could. And I haven't been to a an actual like show event that would have something like that in quite a while. And these are a little bit harder to do that with, unfortunately. I'll build that eventually. It's just waiting for an appropriate set. Eventually, proton decay will break down the plastic all. Well, I mean, like I said, you have to get the, I mean, it'll break down the plastic of the bricks, too. All casually spoiling a future stream? I know, I know. Unless, of course, sometime I just decide to build it, and then you guys won't get to see it. And then I wouldn't have spoiled anything. I mean, I've spoiled other things before, too, so, you know. You do have to tune in to find out which stream, indeed. That is true. Alright. So we get the friction pin and double axle through there. And more side studs. B there or B square? No, no. That's more of a who will survive. Alright, 4 1x4 arches. These are nice to get in gray. Great for castle building. Although it's interesting because they could have just put 2 2x4s on. But hey, I'm not going to question it. I like arches. Ragnarok is the best summon in FF6. I don't think I've ever really... Like, I think the very first time I did that, and then I realized, I should have gone the other way, but... Really depends on what you want out of the game. So we got 2x4 slopes with top tiles. And cutouts, that's kind of nice. Those are good pieces to get as well. There we go. Well, you can get Ultima other ways. The main thing that gives you is it gives you access to Morph or Transmogrify or whatever they call it. Which I never really did much. You can get extra equipment and rare items out of it if you know which monsters and get lucky with the Metamorph summon. Yeah, it's that get lucky part that I don't like. Can you still get the sword that you could get instead of the summon? The Ragnarok sword? Because that's usually what I wanted. The sword. Yeah, that's one of the big issues, I think. Okay. So before I put this on, 1x1 cylinder plate in a sand green is our spare part. Okay, so that goes right here. And this goes right here. Oh, I see why there's arches. Okay. That makes more sense now. Alright, so this is going to be another level of the city, and this is a path through the big stone. You tunnel through it. You can get either one, but not both. Right, and Ragnarok, you can bet that to get the best sword in the game. And I don't know if you can get that another way. I think that's why I usually went with the sword. But I suppose if you're stat maxing, or even just carefully stat manipulating, even if not maxing, you can probably do pretty well with other weapons. I don't like that, also, of, you know... Pick which of these two possibilities do you want, but you can only have one. I don't like that. You can farm the Ragnarok sword from the final boss gauntlet. Yeah, but then you can't wager that in the Colosseum. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can get that from Kefka in the base game too, but lets you keep the sword. Oh, it doesn't just it like has a new game plus or doesn't straight up game over. Allows you to have like game clear data or something like that. Has after end dungeons. Got it. Yeah. All right. So you can go to the arena afterwards. Yeah, it makes more sense. In that version, then yeah, I would probably go for the Ragnarok summon. Alright, so that bookshelf goes right there. Kind of surprised that they are not doing a little bit more to detail these bookshelves. They're pretty basic. Yeah, still, doesn't fix the underlying problem. Oh well. I usually went sword because I had other ways to get the spell from the Magicite, and I didn't really care much about morph. I don't think there's anything that you can get through morph that you can't get other ways, for example. But that's me. I like swords. Alright, got another bookshelf. For some reason, one of them is cut slightly or something. That goes right there. Well, yeah, but you don't necessarily need more of that. Alright, where's the other 1x1 plate? There it is. Alright, now more 1x4 tile slopes, which is very nice to get. And a white 1x2. There it is. And that goes right there. Doesn't stop all instant death. Yeah, I mean, there's some, like, there's different kinds of instant death in a lot of games. Like, obviously, Petrify could be considered instant death, especially when applied to a monster. I can't remember. Does it stop Doom? Okay, there we go. And this goes right there. You had it equipped on Setzer for a monster in the Coliseum that did instant death stuff, and a physical attack that did instant death worked. Yeah, I think some of those work by, like, setting your hit points to 0 or something, rather than applying the instant death stat. Either that or touch-based stuff works differently or something. I don't know. It has been a little while. I should start planning for Phantasy Star, though. I'm running low on other series games to play. Huh. Okay, that's that. Why is that? There we go. All right, there we go. The Relic Ring says that death effects and healing effects were switched. Right, but it doesn't necessarily apply to certain things. Like, it depends on how it actually works in the system. Like, there are times when things bypass resistances and stuff like that. In some games, at least. But I don't know. I have not... it has been a little while since I played FF6. Alright, let's see. Brick. 1x2 plate. 1x2x2. Okay, we're leaving this empty, okay? Understood. One, two, three. Alright, I'm probably going to slide something in there. Yep. Alright, 1x3 panel, 1x4 plate. Got the 1x1 round end with side stud. Yeah, I think most things that do instant death in the Coliseum, you just have to be able to kill them faster than they act or something. I can definitely feel the tiredness working on me. I have been up since a bit after 6 a.m. I had to get up for something. It wasn't fun. Don't say anything you expect. I expect you to remember for 5 minutes. You have to take a bio break. All right, so don't forget, Nadarogai, that I played game X, Y, and Z. Gotta get all charged up for tomorrow. Yeah, but that doesn't help me. Like I'm tired. I'm dragging. I gotta get a. I'm gonna record an update before I go to bed. So after this, and I have to get this video uploaded. And have my all-important post-stream ice cream. I am a tired dragon today. I really am. I usually have not been up for 14 hours by the time I'm doing these streams. It's usually a little bit less than that. But I need to stay up till midnight to get my update anyway, so... Oh well. Just have to struggle through. And I mean, what's the worst case scenario? I just plunk my head down right here and fall asleep, right? The brown element used for the trebuchet was first introduced as a robot arm in the 2006 LEGO Exoforce theme. Right, there we go. I wonder if these are supposed to be cranes for, like, bringing cargo up to the higher levels. All does a sleeping stream. I'd appeal it, and it was accidental. I didn't mean it. Alt passes out before he can get to bed because it's 0200 hours. Yeah. It'd be like Stardew Valley. I'll collapse like a foot from the bed, and then somehow wake up in bed. Pickles, did you put me into bed? Well, at least if I collapse in my house, no one's taking money from me. These filthy thieves. I'm including Harvey in that. Mayor Lewis came in and tucked me into bed. That's true. He does come by before you wake up, doesn't he? Ew. I don't want him coming in. He might leave his purple shorts inside. I don't want that. It's gross. Ew, grody jody. I can put them in the soup pot, that's true. I do like to do that. It is a fun time for all. Or the farm display. It's true too, although you don't get as many points for that. Alright, so that's going to be the front, so we want that side there. Alright. Here we go. There are some very weird houses on the walls of Minas Tirith. Imagine how much stone they had to use for all of these buildings as well. And the walls. It's a lot of stone. Now I kind of want to do this in Minecraft. Like, build a villager city like this. Alright, so there we go. We got that. Then these go here and here. I mean, I'm not going to do it. That would be a lot of time. Need a tall, tall mountain. I mean, that certainly makes it easier. You can always make your own mountain. Okay, then we get panels. It can be relaxing, that is true. That is true. But I don't got time for that. I got D&D games to plan for. PCs to plot how to murder. Okay, so this is going to clip on here. There we go. Looks like it has a buzz cut. I could always do it as a multiplayer project. Then I wouldn't have control over it, though. Also, I would have to set up a server. Also, knowing you guys, you would just sabotage everything. It's like I know you or something. You'd only build a 90-block tall pickle? I mean, as long as it's somewhere other than where I'm building, that's fine with me. Here we go, there's those two, and then this one. You'd make the biggest farm ever and feed everyone cookies. For free? Gasp. I do mostly just like building stuff in Minecraft. Free Minecraft cookies. I'll make Ogre Michael Dorn sad EverQuest 2 reference where he voiced Pickles, pickle-selling ogre vendor. I would make him sad, that is true. I don't want to make Michael Dorn sad, but I can just make him happy in New Vegas, so, you know. Alright, let's get that on there. Those are extra parts. These are not. Okay, I have definitely missed a gray 1x3 somewhere. Or did I miss a gray 1x3? Gray 1x3 plate. That is under there. So I did get that. Ooh. That's a little loose. All right. Gotta hold that better. Yeah, that's there. That's there. And there. Yeah, I got those. Alright. No gray 1x3 there. Actually, hold on a second. Ah, okay. I missed it here. Good. I don't have to do too much. That does make a bit more sense. How does banking work in Faerun? Same way it works everywhere else. Alright, spare parts. Gray 1x1 cylinder plate, tan 1x1 tile, and white and brown 1x1 cylinder plates with top pegs. I mean, banking has basically been around as long as there's been commerce. People lend money with an expectation. No, people lend money. People with money lend money with the expectation of getting a return on that investment. Now, it's not as you know, complicated as it is now. It would be more more along the lines of, I lend you 100 gold, you pay me 120 gold in 2 months. Or something like that. I mean, there aren't, like, savings accounts, per se. It mostly is going to operate on lending. But, I mean, that's a very open-ended question. Like, I don't know exactly what more you want out of it. I mean, anyone with the amount of money you want could theoretically act as a banker. Gilded Tongue makes a good point that temples are going to have a lot of money, so they're going to do a lot of lending, especially temples of Joaquin, because commerce is their jam, and they will definitely have the people who are willing to do more complex types of lending, more complex types of, you know, math to figure out what a good return on an investment is, whether the investment is a sound one, that kind of thing. So if you want a better answer, you kind of got to ask in more detail. Well, they could give a letter of credit assuming that it's going to be used in such a way that, like, someone in Waterdeep who gives a letter of credit, that letter of credit may not be good in Calamshan. It may not be good in Unther. Oops. Swap those. The simplest way of banking is I need X amount of money to purchase this good that I am then going to go take and sell someplace where I think I can get a profit. If you give me that amount of money, or some portion of that amount of money, like I need 100 gold, I have 50 gold, so I need 50 gold. I expect to be able to, sell this for 150, so I will give you 25 gold profit and keep 25 gold profit for myself. That is the simplest form of banking. Are there banking families like the Medici and the Fugger? Is there any regulation? Yes, but that all depends on the location. Like, Sembia is a very merchant-oriented realm. I'm pretty sure that they would have banking families. Cormyr, on the other hand, I don't think they would. But Cormyr would also probably be much more likely to have some, for the setting, significant regulation on banking, because Cormyr is more of an administrative state. Yeah, I mean, large, like, temples would be a good way for that to get around. Like, if you got something from a temple of Joaquin in Waterdeep, then you could probably go to a temple in Calamshan with that kind of note and say and get your cash out kind of thing. There's sometimes there's a fee for that kind of thing. Like, banking is incredibly complex. That's the thing. There's all kinds of banking. There's investing. There's underwriting. How much money would a Temple of Joaquin have on hand? I don't know. I mean, to a big extent, that's going to depend on the type of campaign a DM is running. Is he running a high wealth campaign? They're going to have more money than a low wealth campaign. Like, a lot of that is down to campaign design. Like, I would have a lot more money available in that kind of thing in a Spelljammer campaign versus a Groundling campaign, because Spelljammers are more likely to need a chunk of money, either for upgrading their ship, or cargo, buying a helm, etc. Paying their crew. Heist campaigns do have an issue to deal with money weight. And there are trade bars as well and stuff like that. But I mean, a lot of it ends up being fairly ad hoc as well, as opposed to a regulated, regularized banking system. Like an adventurer who just comes back from adventure with 100 gold, he could lend that out. Like, there's just a lot of different elements to banking, so it's kind of hard to say, how does it work simply? Like, in my Spelljammer campaign, one of the early adventures, Braxton asked about, like, they were investigating some ship attacks. And so he wanted to see, talk to an underwriter. And I had to, I came up with all that stuff on the fly because none of that is in the book, but it made a lot of sense for there to be underwriters on Brawl. I don't like Earth being in wild space. If I was going to have an Earth at all, I would probably use the Gothic Earth setting rather than actual Earth. Have they come up with double entry bookkeeping? Do they have corporations? Is there private minting? Do they have the concepts of collateral for loans? Yes, to all of those, depending on where you are and in various ways. I would say, like, anything that existed in the Renaissance era, through the Renaissance era, I would say exists somewhere in the Forgotten Realms. The question is more of a where rather than do they. Because not every place is going to have those kinds of things. Not every place is going to want to have those kinds of things. Like private minting in Waterdeep and Cormyr? No. Oh no, Neverwinter tulip market speculation. Okay, what did I missed 1x3s down there. All right. I don't know if it's being picked up on my microphone, but my chair is really, really squeaking right now. It's actually really annoying me. I, like, cannot get comfortable for some reason. Howdy, Shield of Hope. How's it going? When I finish this bag, I might try to shift myself a little bit by muting myself. The chair is fine. It's just like most chairs are not really designed for you to sit in for 2 hours straight, kind of thing. Lego minifigure shields are used to replicate the crown-shaped ornament that hang... Oh, I'm sorry. No, there was no TMs there. That hangs above the throne. Alright, so we want... that to go in there, and that to go there, yes. Howdy, Kinshire, how's it going? Which minifig parts? Shields. Blank gray shields. You're confused on scale? Some of this looks like it's supposed to be nanofig scale, but others are minifig scale. Yes, the outside is nanofig, the inside is minifig. It's a display piece that you can turn around. The inside has the throne room, whereas the outside is all Minas Tirith. They did the same thing with the, with Barad-dûr. Which, to be fair, I didn't get, but... Alright, this is going... there and there. There we go. That's just hanging loose. Because otherwise, like, without this interior, you know, it would just be something like they could have just put a superstructure there to hold everything up and just have it be empty, but that would be kind of boring. Which towers do I think were the eponymous two towers? What is it? Minas Tirith and Minas Morgul? Is that the one where that Frodo and Sam are sneaking through? It's been a while since I've read them. I mean, I think that it could apply to both. Like, I mean, probably could have called it the Four Towers, but the Two Towers sounds better. I mean, Lord Canis, a lot of people mess up what exactly coyotes look like, so it doesn't come as a huge surprise to me that they might be a little bit different. Plus, people might have changed them up intentionally to basically be like, we're not infringing. We're not infringing. Minas Ithil, yeah. But that's the tower that they're sneaking through, right? I'm not misremembering that. I mean, Orthanc is pretty significant in it too, so it could be Orthanc and Minas Tirith. Honestly, I don't know, and like it never really was one of those things that, ooh, I should really figure out what he meant by this, kind of thing. Makes sense since the kobolds of EverQuest look like buff dogs with fists. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these things are like, you know, this is our legally distinct creature. Okay, then that, and a 1x2. And a 1x3 there. Or Orthanc and Barad-dûr. Saruman wanted to challenge Sauron. I don't feel like Barad-dûr is a very good candidate for it. Just because, like, I don't recall any of the story taking place there, and I feel like if you're gonna call your book The Two Towers, then the Two Towers in question should be significant focuses, or at least events should take place there in the narrative. But that's me. I mean, it's entirely possible that the publisher picked it, and the publisher was like, "Oh yeah, there's two towers in this book. Let's call it that. That's a good name." And Tolkien might have been like, "There's actually more than two towers," and he's like, "It's fine. It sounds good." I mean, a book name is primarily about grabbing an audience, like a title. For a novel, at least. And The Two Towers is, you know, I mean, TTT. I mean, the fact that no one's been able to, like, definitively say it means this, I think that's a good sign that it's not necessarily indicative of a particular two. Could just be a case of, like, two towers play you know, at various times there are two towers that are strongly figuring into the narrative or something like that. I mean, I think Tolkien gave it the name Two Towers, but later said he hated the name of the book. Maybe. I don't know. I've literally never looked into why any of the books are named the way they are. Okay, this one goes up here. And we get another one of these, what I assume are cranes. I suppose they could be catapults. I don't know. Tolkien never specified which two towers? Or Yaro's saying that it references the alliance between Saruman and Sauron? I mean, the fact that that there are credible arguments in favor of multiple interpretations is a pretty good indication that it's ambiguous. Apparently, he wrote in a letter to two publishers. The second part is called The Two Towers, since the events recounted in it are dominated by Orthanc, the citadel of Saruman, and the fortress of Minas Morgul that guards the secret entrance of Mordor. There you go. There you go. All right. Yeah, Minas Tirith is more prominent in Book 3, isn't it? Alright, so, spare parts. We got 1x1 tile slopes in dark gray, tan, and sand green, 1x1 plates in dark gray and white, 1x1 tile in gray, 1x1 round end tile in white with window print, 2L bar with stop in gray, and a 1x1 cylinder tile with top peg in brown. Is that a pig nose piece? No. I mean, I suppose you could use it that way, but it would look a little weird. I'll pull it out and zoom in on it again. Unless we have one here. No, we don't. Alright, where did you go? There it is. Okay, I'm not sure how well this will get picked up, but... yeah, Minas Morgul was at the end of Two Towers. That's when Frodo and Sam were trying to sneak around. And I think it ended with... unsure of whether he was captured or not. I don't know. It's been a while. Anyway, so here you can see... Here you can see, like, it's arched and it sticks out a little bit. There's a little bit of definition for shadow on the left side. So basically you have false columns with a capital and then an arch. That's getting too close to focus. So that's the best I can do. Alright, bag 47. Provoke conversation, eh? So you're a provocateur, eh? It's so small you could barely cover a minifig head with it. Yeah, I don't know if they came with this set first, but they are very prominent, or if they were designed for this set, or if they were designed for the Neuschwanstein Castle, but they're very prominent in Neuschwanstein Castle. I think they were designed for that set and used for this one. Well, I would want a black shield for that, honestly. I mean, I like getting blank shields, but also I don't know what I would use with the blank shields for. I hope by that you mean reusing parts in other sets, Shield of Hope. Because otherwise, the idea of recycling Lego bricks, getting rid of them at all, ugh, you disgust me. I figured. But I also wanted to say the other thing, because it's fun. Yeah, that's right. It's been a while since I read the book. It's a good cliffhanger. I really wish Rankin Bass had done all the books, rather than just the last one. It's a real shame. Distracted. Distracted? Better be a pupper distraction. Then you have to read all of the Siege of Minas Tirith before finding out what happened to Sam and Frodo. I mean, you could skip ahead. You are not required to read the other stuff if you don't want to. Don't let the bookman keep you down. Do your own thing, man. Read the way you want to read. Can't let them tell you what to do. You can look at the last page if you want. Man, imagine being one of those people who looks at the last page and doing that in the Return of the King kind of thing. Or at least like getting like zipping ahead and just like reading a little bit and seeing like the Scouring of the Shire and just being like, what the heck? Come back here. Fluffy distraction, that's what I thought. The only acceptable kind of distraction. Alright, we got 10 of those. Now we got more gray arches. Half arches this time. Isn't the last page of Return of the King? Well, I mean, it's not like literal last page. Some people like to Columbo it, you know? Know what happened and then see how they get there. That's okay. If that's what they want. You know, if they want to be freaks that way. I'm just kidding. Admittedly, you did skip like 30 pages of War and Peace because it was getting so boring, and where you picked up felt like you didn't miss anything. Gasp. Shock. What would Dostoevsky say about that, huh? Probably. That's fair. Okay, so we have another shield here. There we go, so that gets there. War and Peace is an adequate murder weapon in a cozy mystery. Okay, pair of inverted slopes there. You will choose to believe these shields are actually covert constraint field projections. Well, we're not done yet. It will look a little bit more fitting when we're done, I think. Mostly, it's hiding these holes here in the wall. Oh god, I have to turn it around now. And break pieces off, as you do. There we go. Okay, so this goes here. There we go. Oh, and I missed this 2x3 over here. There we go. Okay, now we do the other side. Buddy, Roval Jacks, how's it going? How's the progress on the Rohan stronghold? That progress is not going well. Since I'm building the Gondor stronghold. And Not a Rogue AI is here trying to not believe Ondor's lies. Okay, we do have a 1x2 with clip. There it is. Just woke up. Mistaken Minas Tirith for Helm's Deep. That's fine. See, Van was useful to the plot. I never said he wasn't. I just said that other characters were better leads. I don't hate Van. Alright, we got another hinge. Yeah, what's combat like in that game? Because it looked weird. Last thing I should do... Well, the set is to remove the main gates. Well, I've already removed the main gates. They are currently separate. They will go back on at the end as well. After it's finished. Well, they can be opened. Yeah, I was looking at it because it does have a connection with Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 2. I can't actually remember if that part has shown up in video yet. I have recorded a little bit ahead. In fact, like, I actually have not played that game in weeks. And I need to do so again soon, but I just haven't needed to. No, he's talking about Revenant Wings, not Final Fantasy 13. Sequel in a different way. So, Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, and Vagrant's Story are all set in Ivalice, but it is not recognizably the same Ivalice. Such that, from my perspective, they are not set in the same world. Now, there is an airship graveyard in Final Fantasy Tactics, and I think the, the word of God from the creators is that Final Fantasy Tactics takes place like 1,000 years after 12 and Tactics Advance 2. And, yeah, okay, but like, Jack Vance's Dying Earth is set in the far future of Earth. Wheel of Time is set in the far future of Earth, such to the point where it doesn't matter. Like, it could just as well be a different world. Like, if it's so far in the future that it is completely unrecognizable, I don't consider that to be realistically the same world. Because it doesn't, like, at that point, it just does not matter at all. No, Wheel of Time is not the far past of Earth. Wheel of Time is the far future. They have a very, very messed up story of the Cold War in it. You wouldn't recognize Earth from the dinosaurs era. Right. Which would be, you know, the equivalent of another world. But there's also no, you know, sapient life in at that time either, so... You were joking about the cyclical time period? Fair enough. But, like, if the Wheel of Time takes place in the future of Earth, or it takes place in another world entirely, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There is no change in the story whatsoever if either of those are true. Zero change. Thus, it's just as good, you know, it just might as well be another world. So that's kind of my feeling about Ivalice. Howdy, Sealan. How's it going? I mean, like, I really could not care less if something is set in so far in the future that it is unrecognizable to like realistically refer to it as the future of a setting. It just doesn't matter. Yeah, and Final Fantasy Tactics Advance is very much a dream. Well, like Planet of the Apes, the fact that it takes place on Earth is actually important to the story because that's a twist. You think it's another world, and then, oh my god, it's actually Earth in the far future. If it's just another world, changes the story completely. Started talking about it as I was typing, as you were typing. So, like, ultimately, like, if it matters to the story, like, if it actually matters to the story, then it's important. If it doesn't matter to the story, then it may as well be another world. That's what, like, Final Fantasy... If Final Fantasy Tactics is on another world, nothing changes in the game. Alright, spare parts. Black 1x1 plate as our single spare part. This is getting pretty large here. We're getting a dome ceiling above the throne room. Alright, bag number 48. So that's why, as far as I'm concerned, Terry Brooks' Shannara series ended up being a post-apocalyptic future Earth after he wrote another series and then went from there to a second series that tied it in as the origin. Right, but like the early Shannara books may as well be another world because it doesn't matter to the story, kind of thing. Oh, I'm sure that was one of the inspirations for the movie design. But then again, like, you know, there's tons of domes like that around the world at this point. Howdy, Mrav. How's it going? But back to the original point, Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 2... if you look at the map of Final Fantasy XII, like, here's the map of Final Fantasy XII. If you look at the map for Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 2, it could easily fit in right over here just fine. And then it would make sense for Van to be there. Oh, goody. Lots of these. All right, so 1x3 plates with 2 top clips and 1x2 plates with 2 end bars. And I need 5 of each, so that should be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. All right. That's 2, 3... 4. 5 and 6. Started playing SnowRunner for a third time. Well, hope you enjoy yourself. Okay, and then we want one more of these over here. There were hints of Sword of Shannara that it was much later that it was confirmed. I mean, that's fair enough. I'm just like, you know, like these kinds of things can be interesting factoids, but if it doesn't change anything in the story, then it can just as easily be another world. And if something is set out to be a separate world and then is later retconned, to me, I don't know. I mean, the Evilise, like, I could believe the Evilise of Vagrant Story is the same as Final Fantasy Tactics because there's like some, you know, a lot of similarities and stuff like that. But the Evilise of Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 2 and Advance and Advance 2 and Final Fantasy 12 doesn't work for me. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Like, if they took the opportunity in the remake to add Viera, okay, you know. I'd feel those connections a little bit more, but... Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty common trope in a lot of fantasy fiction. Rather than otherworld fiction, it is just like far future Earth kind of thing. Okay. So is that just going... Yeah, alright. Oh boy, I gotta get this in here. Kind of surprised that it doesn't do more to show where these are connecting in. Connects in there. Connects there. Maybe it will on the next page. Let's see. Yes, it will. All right. Where do you even find oysters that big made of gold? Well, I mean, Gondor isn't that far from the coast. Alright. 3L and axle connector. Seems kind of sturdy. It's pretty sturdy, actually. Tactics and Vagrant Story are places where there's generally no other sentient species than humans. Or at least nothing that is civilized. Like, there are other creatures that could be considered races in both of those games, but they certainly aren't. They certainly don't have a civilization like the humans do. You know, goblins, and I think there's lizard men in Vagrant Story. But, like, the other thing is that, you know, for Final Fantasy Tactics to be the future of Final Fantasy 12, that means that the Banga, the Numo, the Mughals, the Viera, like, they all died off. The Sikh. You know, and it's like... That's also kind of like... Just make them separate worlds. It's fine. It doesn't have to be the same. Bet you didn't know that Minas Tirith had a propeller. Alright, so we are getting the gold flex tube. One by one with 5 studs. Get one by one tiles with top clips. There we go. And then we get Zelda shields in, I think, warm tan. Oh, I had an incredibly stupid person argue something today. Well, yesterday, actually. In response to... actually, going to take those off for a second so I can get this a little bit further down. There we go. In response to something about... Tolkien and how, like, there's no white people in Middle-earth, basically, because that's a social construct that doesn't exist in this fantasy world. Someone pointed out that Bilbo, I think, is described as having skin that's nut brown in color. And someone's response was that Tolkien drew him in black and white line art without shading his skin, therefore he must be white. Imagine being that fixated on that. My dude has not seen much line art in his life, I don't think. Okay. There we go. It's a chandelier or something. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be a chandelier or some other sort of decoration. Gaming you're waiting for will release a test version tomorrow. If it won't get delayed again, well, hopefully it won't. Alright, let's put that there for now. Okay. Mind you, the guy also said that the hair color of Robert Baratheon's kids in Game of Thrones was so important that you couldn't swap that with some other sort of obvious genetic difference. So crucial. Alright, we get a brick up here. Not on the other side, though. Okay, beige 2x2s and 2x2 cylinder tiles. Right there, and... oh, 2 of these, alright. It was supposed to be out today. Well, hopefully that just means that they're fixing last-minute found bugs kind of thing. I remember Concerned Ape was talking about the release of Stardew Valley, and he was fixing bugs right up until like minutes before it went live. Oh, I need 2 of these. All right. Every bored kid in geometry class made a propeller with their ruler and a pencil placed in the middle. Yep. There we go. Ah, okay. So this goes right here. Who spent a decade making more of what? Alright, 3 1x6s. There. Right there, Concerned Ape. Yeah, well. I mean, he very clearly loves the game. Loves what he made. And keeps wanting to tinker with it. I get it. Can't wait for Stardew 1.7. I know, me too. I mean, for one thing, like, he's obviously not making big changes to, like, how the game plays, you know? He's not, like, completely revamping, how all the, you know, what all the worth of plant, you know, crops are and stuff like that. He's just adding new things. So even if the new stuff doesn't really grab you, you still have all the old stuff that you know and love. Yes, Clint and Sandy. They're the new love interests, the romanceable people. He has not completed the new game, no. But it also took him years to make Stardew Valley. And the only thing hurt by him not getting the new game done is himself, really. So if he doesn't get the new, if he wants to spend some time working on an old game, it's up to him. Now these are, like, this one here would be over here. So this is interesting. Curious to see how he handles a non-town citizen like Sandy having cutscenes. I imagine she'll still go out to or shop or something. Like, I believe if you marry someone and they're in cutscenes with other people, they'll still show up in those cutscenes, like if you hadn't gotten them yet. Brings in hot dogs. Hot dogs. But Bahamut, are they made with 100% real hot? Did you know he gave up on another game to start working on Stardew? It was a bit like Terraria in space, was called Starbound. Hadn't heard that, no. He did try to do procedurally generated dungeons that you had to like actually dig through the walls, but he couldn't get the cavern formations were very buggy, so he ended up ditching that. What's my favorite hot dog topping? Just ketchup. I like the old standard. You'd love if Sandy shows up in the town visiting Emily before you repair the bus. Heck no, Bahamut. Heck no. Peanut butter is actually and surprisingly great on hot dogs. I will take your word for it. I will stick with only eating peanut butter in when it is in a chocolate cup. There we go. Now you have to try peanut butter on hot dog? Okay, I mean, that's up to you. That is entirely up to you, sir. You don't actually have to do that if you don't want to. If you're going to do that, then that means that you want to, which is also fine. Well, there you go. You have the pro strats for that. You did try the Twinkie Wiener sandwich. That's true. That is true. You did try the Twinkie Wiener sandwich. That's the pro recipe, indeed. Alright, I'm gonna get this on before I put this part on because it's easier. Otherwise, like if I do this, say the axle sticks out the other side. So if I do it this way, the axle cannot stick out the other side. There we go. And then we get this dome on top. You're going to try that, and then how about a peanut butter hot dog with whipped cream topping? You've been lurking. Gasp. Who said you could lurk? Oh, right. Everyone. All right. Next up, we are using... Oh, shoot. That's not good. All right. Oh, they didn't go very far. So we have 16L axle, a 16L flex tube, which I'm sure is extra. The flex tube is extra. The axle we have not used yet. So I'm actually going to get that right there so that I don't need to deal with the bag anymore. All right, so these are really interesting. 4 of these will make a circular inside gear. So basically, you put a gear in here, and you know it'll. You can rotate something kind of externally. So I haven't actually gotten any of these before. Definitely wondering about using this for the Argama's rotating center section. Very curious about setting that up. If that would work well. Okay, so take this one and get this through here. Do I know Kinseed? I cannot say that I do. Okay, so this one gets up here. That goes through there. Then this one through here. And a 16 friction half pins in red. 1, 2. Are these in all of these? Let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a Stardew like where villagers age, procreate, and die? That doesn't sound as much fun. On the banner of Gondor TM, the 7 stars of Elendil TM are represented over the white tree. Okay, so we have 1x1 cylinder tiles in black, and we get a star here. And 1. And a star. 1. Star. 1, 2. Star up at the top. Wait, not there. Right there. Then 1, 2. We'll go down to the other side. 1, 2. Another star. 1. Star. 1. And star. There we go. You don't envy whomever had to edit all the trademark marks throughout this text? I mean, there's not a whole lot of text, so it's not that hard, I imagine. And you could probably do a find replace. All right, spare parts. Before we put this on, black 1x1 cylinder tile, red friction half pin, gray half bushing, and a white star. Okay. Get that in, get that in, get that in. There we go. So we're getting the ceiling dome all squared away. It's looking pretty nice there. All right, bag number 49. I think this will be the last one that we do. For tonight, because then we'll have the same number of bags plus one for next Wednesday, and I don't mind going a little bit longer on that because I will be less tired. Because I got up at 6:20 this morning. It sucked. When I'm normally getting up at 10, 6:20, super duper early. All right. Flipping this sucker around. That is sliding. I said it's sliding. I said. There we go. Got it. All right. I mean, I could still go on, I could still go on, and, it's a heck of a lot easier to, play, 100 World Story with how I'm feeling right now compared to building Lego, keeping track of chat and instructions and ad break and talk. I have to do less when I'm on Zerfall's stream. He has to worry about the stream stuff. I'm just there loafing. And, there's a big difference between, waking up early and waking up at my normal time and staying up a little later. It's a lot easier for me to stay up late than get up early. I do, yeah. Yeah, I'm totally going to loaf. Not only am I going to loaf, but I'm going to have ice cream, too. It is not supposed to rain tomorrow. It is supposed to rain starting Sunday and, going for a couple days. But we're not supposed to get an inch of rain even, so I think we're good. I have been closely monitoring every rain we've gotten since then, and none of it's had anything come in, so. Okay, that goes on there. I was kind of wondering if this was going to go over there, but nope. I loaf like fresh baked bread, indeed. Just delicious that way. And then a yellow 1x2 brick there. And medium azure 2x2 there. Is it okay to eat nuggets that are 5 months past their expiration date? Were they frozen or were they in the fridge? They were frozen the entire time? Yeah, they probably just have freezer burn. I would think that they would be okay. But I'm not an expert, so you cannot sue me if I'm wrong. This is not legal advice. But yeah, I mean, like, they're not really going to spoil in the freezer, so they're just going to get freezer burn. They might taste, ew. Nothing harmful lives after 5 months except that documentary, The Thing. That's true. I don't eat fish. I do not eat things from the sea. They are bad. They're bad for you. So yes, I take back everything that I said. Don't eat it. It's bad for you because it's fish. Not because it's like 5 months past the expiration date. It's because it's fish. Okay, so this goes on right there. Connects up to there. There we go. Is it a taste matter about the seafood? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. Ald would just not have been Christian. I mean, Ald is a dragon. Dragons don't care about Lent. I mean, you know what you can eat for Lent, right? As a dragon? Humans. Mm-mm. Now you're curious about a dragon who does observe Lent? I mean, I suppose there could be a dragon who's converted to Christianity, but like, why? He didn't die for our sins. Yeah, exactly. Fairies. There you go. Delicious fairies. Lent fairies. No eating humans, they're evil in your stomach? Nah, it's fine. For a dragon, it's perfectly fine. Alright, this goes right there. And this goes right there. Like, it's still very wobbly here. We need to connect it up with these studs back here. Oops. All right. Understood. Don't lift there. I lift there. So we've got the that bit of rock there. It's pretty nice. You can see the gap here, though, and how it wiggles a little bit. There's some clips here, though, so there's going to be some stuff that probably goes in and angles there, I'd guess. Clips here as well. Not very fond of wiggle? No, neither am I. Dragons like stomach evil? No, humans just don't affect dragons that way. Like, dragons eat princesses, well, bunny. So there is the throne room. This is the upper level of it. Now you'd really have to like get down below and look up to see the all those, you know, the really high details. So it's really just going to be like this. But it looks pretty nice. Looks pretty nice. I can probably do that a little bit. All right, so bag number 50 is going to be what we start on next week. Let's go ahead and see about getting this up here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's getting a little close to the top. I am definitely not going to be able to put this all together up to the top on camera for sure. For sure. All right. I'm going to put it on its back, though. That is something that I will do when it is time. What type of failed D&D adventures did you have where you let the dragon eat the princess? I mean, that's pretty common in stories. I mean, stories that I helped propagate so that people would leave me princesses, of course. Princess Linda is fine, Nadaroge AI. I don't eat raccoon princesses. Like dragons, I don't know if you were aware, but dragons and raccoons signed a peace treaty like a millennia ago. I mean, really, it's more of a non-aggression treaty. They can have our garbage. They can have all of our garbage. And we eat princesses. It's fine. All right, it is about time for some Lego minifigs. So let's see. So we are starting with Series 7. We have not finished this one up yet. Had raccoons evolved 1,000 years ago? Lol Bunny? All right, 5. So we're going over here. It's 1,000 years. Yes. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Nope, nope. Come back here. I'm going to need you. I'm going to need you. Get back here. Stupid die. Don't go anywhere. There we go. It's only 1,000 years. Takes a little bit longer for animals to evolve to other things. All right, let's start a prediction. Can all guess what is inside the minifig pack? Get your predictions in. All right, let's roll our D20. 10 again. All right, so that is Tarzan. So my die is predicting Tarzan. 2 for Bahamut. That would be the Eagle Warrior. 14 for Shield of Hope. That would be the Boar Knight. 2 for Nadarogai would also be the Eagle Warrior. 8 for Seelan. That would be the Space Bounty Hunter guy. A Leonin with Hopes and Dreams. I would hope that would be most of them, Bahamut. Or have Leonins just been utterly oppressed and destroyed? So they have no hopes and dreams, for the most part. Beginning guess is a Minotaur seating furniture designer. Alright, get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? Let me get my timer up. There we go. Leonins and Theros, I don't know what that means. It's not like you don't believe in me, huh? You just want that sweet, sweet big payout. The rare, sweet, sweet big payout. Alright, get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the minifig pack? And you know, we got a new one after this. Get hyped. No, I know what it is. In that, yes, it's a Magic the Gathering setting that also has D&D. That is what I do know. That is all that I know. All right, just a few seconds remaining. Get your predictions in. I'm too damn good. Everyone bets on me. I know. I'm so good. I'm so awesome. All right, get your predictions in. All right, nope, can't get your predictions in because time is up. And go. Okay. Oh, is this? No, that is not. What is that? Is it? What is that? Oh, all right. 25.45. It's a new one. So far, let's see. We have not gotten the Viking, which is what we got now. The Bride, Neptune, or the Eagle Warrior, correct? Yes. Yeah, those are the ones that we have not gotten. But this time, we have the Viking. Actually, shoot. No, it might not be. All right, executive decision. I'm actually going for the Eagle Warrior. I missed that the guy had the round shield. I felt the round shield, but I think it's the Eagle Warrior. All right, so let's see. Let's see. Is this correct? Or did I just screw myself? All right. I got it correct. Yes. I had that second of doubt and then made the correct decision. All right. Let's choose the outcome. I hadn't opened it yet. So that is 20 to 50. Let's complete that prediction. All right, let's see. Who's getting all the hams? Lord Kane is getting all the hams. Very nice. Red Hyena, Bahamut, and Palador going for within 20 seconds. Shield of Hope and Seal and Mortar going for 50 to 60. Marav and Lel Bunny going for no. Hoping for that big payout. Yeah, so I felt this, but I wasn't sure what it was. And so I thought it might have been the hat there once I felt this, the shield. Thinking that it was her shield because she's got a round shield. But no, then I was like, wait, no, he has that, and that hat was more likely than that, because I was feeling some ridged things. All right. I'm good. See, we only have one face here. This is a great hat. Golden Spear. Golden Shield. Actually, no, that should be upright. All right, let's go ahead and zoom in. All right, so he's got a belt that hangs down to down to his legs, bare chest with a pectoral. Here's his pretty nifty shield, which I think has a very stylized eagle on it. And here is his eagle helmet, which is very cool. That is a very cool helmet. Look at that. He's a cute minifig, yeah. Yeah, he's great. Cute's not exactly the word I would use. I'm going to go for more like cool, but to each their own. Yeah, very unique helmet. Yeah, this has not shown up elsewhere, and I don't know where else they would have it. Cute is indeed subjective, yeah. Aztec warrior, I mean, I would go, it's just the eagle warrior. I mean, maybe he's Aztec. He could probably be one of the other Mesoamerican peoples, too. All right. So there we go. So that is our very first eagle warrior. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Next up, we have Series 6. All right. So let's roll our die. 2. All right, so we're going over there. 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good. Get those 4s out of here before I have to start rolling for Vrox. No, don't go there. Oh, shoot. The red box fell over and some of the minifigs tried to escape. Oh, I haven't even started prediction yet. Shoot. Let's go ahead and do that. All right. There we go. I thought I had started the prediction. All right, so let's see. D20, 1. All right, we got the alien. And I believe tonight at midnight, if you're a LEGO Insider, the X-Files set is going on sale. All right, so we've got 2 for Shield of Hope. That would be the Celtic Warrior. 5 for Bahamut. That would be the Gunslinger. 13 for Sealan. That would be the pink space woman. 3 for Nadaroge Eye. That would be the bedtime boy. We've got a Leonin bookkeeper, and can't wait to get a cigarette smoking man fig. All right, so we have gotten in previous times, I haven't had this one out for a while, we have gotten 2, we have gotten 6, we have gotten 9, so we've gotten the Celtic Warrior, we've gotten the Flamenco Lady, we've gotten the Leprechaun, we have gotten the Doctor, and we've gotten the Genie. Am I interested in that X-Files set? Yes. Plus it also has a gift with purchase, so, you know. 8 for Palador, that would be the Minotaur. A Minotaur Cetin Crafter for a little bunny. Genies are cool. Genies are indeed cool. Is that Char with a bazooka at the end of 0079? No. Whatever it is that you're looking at, no. Witch Doctor Sealan Mortar? I think it's the Proctologist. 13 for Nadaroge Eye. That is also the Pink Space Lady. All right, predictions are closed. And go. Alright, alright. I don't think it's anything with a big piece in it. What do we got here? What do we got here? What is this? Oh, alright. 12.26. We got Betty by time, guy. Which witch doctor? Which witch is which doctor? We got Jammy's guy. Okay, we got Jammy's guy. All right, that is correct. That is in 12.26. Let's choose the outcome. I felt the bear. Within 20 seconds. Complete that prediction. Who is getting the hams? All right, Red Hyena and Palador getting all the hams. Very nice. Lord Canis and Kinshir going for 20 to 50. Shield of Hope going for 50 to 60. And Bahamut, Mrav, and Lel Bunny going for no. You know, Lel Bunny, that when I do get the Minotaur, I'm going to be able to feel that it's the Minotaur. So you're not going to get any points for no. Just saying. Decided to be contrary this time. You decide to be contrary a lot, though. It's okay. Give me it anyways. I love these pajamas. Oh, man. These are great. All right, let's zoom on in. So he's a little bit sleepy, yawning. He also has a sleeping face there. So we had dual printed faces here back in Series 6. Not for everyone though. Striped pajamas, printed on the sides, printed on the arms, printed on the back. So like all kinds of great printing on this one. Very cool. And a pretty standard bear. The colors might be different. I don't know if I have the bear in these colors, but the bear isn't anything like unique. But yeah, he definitely is yawning and tired. He has little bags under his eyes, I'm noticing. There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and mark him off. Yeah, I felt the bear. Because, like, the bear, it's kind of bulbous, and it has these bars, which are the arms. They're bars. And I can feel, though, I felt that those were at an angle, and that was just a dead giveaway. I can just feel that this is a bear through the bag. Now make the sleepy guy fight the eagle warrior and make us gamble on the victor? No. No, Eagle Warrior would tuck him in. Is a Minotaur head a real head or a hat piece over a regular head? It's a real head. There isn't enough space for a regular head in there, and this isn't like a Minotaur costume. It is a Minotaur, so oftentimes they will use they'll make that a standard head. But they haven't had this Minotaur show up in any other sets, which is a shame. They should definitely make a Labyrinth set. All right. And for the last minifig, all right. This will be our second minifig for this set. All right, 3, so we're going over that side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. D8. 7. There we go. All right, let's start our prediction. Once I can find my mouse cursor. Can all guess what is inside the minifig box? Get your predictions in. Alright, so I will shake it and guess. I will roll a die. Then I will weigh it. And let's go ahead and get on to our weights. There we go. Alright, so we got 7 for Seelan. That would be the Haunted Chocolatier. 4 for Nadaroge AI. That would be, once again, the Monster Hunter Steampunk Lady. 6 for Bahamut. That would be the Slime Monster, the Garbage Monster. 7 for Shield of Hope. Also the Chocolatier, who's definitely haunted. A Leonin Bird Warrior, and a Minotaur Seating Cushion Padding Seamstress. I could use that right now. Alright, get your predictions in. Can I guess what is inside the Minotaur... The Minotaur? The minifig box. Not the Minotaur box. There aren't any Minotaurs here. We had our opportunity for a Minotaur, and we missed out. Alright. So the only one that we've gotten so far is the Monster Hunter. A Minotaur box would be great. That is true. That would be great. I would love some, like, collectible minifigs that are just, like, they're just put out one, you know, it could have a little picture here, like a little window here to see what it is kind of thing, and you know that you're getting, like, because they only put out one or something like that. They actually did a thing where they had, like, 4 minifigs in a thing. I didn't get any of those. It was unfortunate. No, I Minotaur, not Monotard. That Monotar is when a Minotaur gets mono. It's a sad, sad thing when a Minotaur gets mono and become a Monotar. And then, if they become a lycanthrope, then they might become a Monotar lizard. All right. Minotaur is the guy's name, not the species. No, actually, Minotaur is what he is. His name is Asterion. All right, let's shake it. Okay. Hearing a lot of small parts. No, a Moonatar would be a Minotaur astronaut who's going to the moon, like on Apollo. Okay, I'm hearing a lot of small parts. That could be a lot of different things right now. So I'm going to say the Bionicle fan. Sounds kind of loony to you? Could be. All right, so let's roll the die. I'm saying number 3, the Bionicle fan. 4, that's the Monster Hunter. It could be. There's a lot of, I'm hearing a lot of parts. Let's weigh it. 18.66. That is pretty close to my other guess, which was the Chocolatier. I should have gone with my first guess. But it could also be the Marine Biologist. Ooh. All right. But I'm going to say that the weight is indicating the Chocolatier. No, the Marine Biologist. All right, that's going to be a no. All right. Okay, so the weights on these might be a little bit... Hold on. Okay, I don't know, I was saying negative 0.05. All right, so Marine Biologist, let's double check. That's going to be a no if that is the case. That is indeed the case. Okay. All right, so that... Yeah, there's more small pieces than I thought, I think. Where's the... Oh, there it is. There it is. Yep. All right, let's choose the outcome. That is a no. Let's complete that prediction. Who is getting all the hams? Seelan Mortar and Lel Bunny getting all the hams. Seelan getting some hams for that critical hit for tomorrow. Red Hyena and Mrav going for yes with guess. Shield of Hope going for yes with die roll. Lord Canis, Crimson Clover, Palador, and Bahamut all going for yes with wait. But it was Seelan and Lel Bunny who got it. Alright. For once you chose to believe in me. Joke's on you, I sandbagged. No. Alright. Let's see. Let's make her smile. An interesting dual-molded hairpiece. Which does mean that all of our marine biologists are going to have the exact same hair color. We have a new clownfish that is super adorable. I don't know if I've gotten any dark blue flippers. Company of the Broken Sword Emergency Crit Fund? Yep. Alright, so we get one spare clear 1x1 cylinder tile with top peg. The other one can go underneath the foot of the marine biologist here. And the other one goes underneath the clownfish. I have not seen Finding Nemo, so I don't know. See, she's got a zipper. There's the other, her other face. Making some notes. She's got like an underwater pen and a marking pad and an adorable clownfish. Also a fern piece in pearlescent pink, trans pink. But that is an adorable clownfish. Look at that guy. Look at him. He's adorable. It's great to have other fishies. And this is a dual molded goggles and hair. That's pretty cool. All right, so that is our second minifig from this set. So once we get 6 different ones, then we'll move on to the bottom row. And I will slowly slot in any extras that are on the top, or the top register. We'll move on to the bottom register. I'll slot in any extras from the top register that are left over as we go, until we get one of everything. All right, but that is going to wrap it up. Marlin. Why would they name like a clownfish's dad after another fish type? All right, but that is going to be it for us tonight. We are going to be back tomorrow for some more Spelljammer. We're also going to be following that up with Zerfall's charity stream. I will be raiding into him. Please do come out and join us. It'll be a great time. Lots of interactive games will be played. There's going to be a bunch of people on the call. Lots of games, probably, almost certainly TKO, that's usual. Other various Jackbox Party Pack games. Some new stuff, probably. I don't even know what everything is going to be done. But it'll be a great time raising money for the MS Society of Canada. Please do come out. Donate if you can. If you can spare some bucks, that would be awesome. If you can't, then just being there and cheering us on and having a good time really does go a long way, and does encourage those with more money to donate more. Trust me. Then we'll be back on Monday for some more Dragon Quest. We'll be back next Wednesday to finish this set up, and next Friday we'll be building a one-off set. That is, it's going to be a little special. So I want to thank you guys for coming on out. Please do show up for Zerfall's charity stream tomorrow. I look forward to that. I look forward to seeing you all there. And I shall see you next time. See you then, everyone.